Hello again. Welcome to Super Coaching UPSC by Textbook. This is Venkatesh, your faculty for geography. As you all know that every Friday I'm doing previous year question sessions of all the topics of geography for the last 25 years. We have completed almost climatology, oceanography. We have done one session even on say something like geomorphology. This is part 2 of geomorphology, right? I think these previous year questions are having a huge relevance in terms of your preparation. Many of you have responded well as well. You have seen the answer. You are participating live in answering the questions as well. That's good. You know that once you do previous year questions, the concepts, the understanding, the template of UPSC, everything you would be understanding. So keeping this into considerations, let's start the discussions now. Okay. Try to answer this question. Identify the correct order of the processes of soil erosion from the following: splash, sheet, rill erosion, gully erosion. You all know erosion is an important exogenic process which creates a variety of landforms. Try to answer this. Yes, Janvi, good afternoon. कैसे हो? How are you doing? Had your lunch? Dharma, good afternoon. How are you doing? Right. Try to answer this question. Yes, Gayatri, good afternoon. Hello. Yeah, try to answer this. Identify the correct order of the process of soil erosion from the following: splash erosion, sheet erosion, rill erosion, gully erosion. Which is the first, which is the end? Try to understand. If you have understood this, you will get the answer as right. So if you see, the correct answer will be option A. The first thing, any kind of erosional starts with what? Splash erosion. Let me show you a picture. If you see this, when there is more rainfall, when there is an sudden outburst of flash flood or rainfall, whatever, through the rainfall, through the cloud bursts, the thing which you observe, the first thing is the rainfall drops will be splashing the earth. As the rainfall is splashing the earth, the particles will be disturbed. That is what is called splash erosion. Then that splash erosion over a period of time will provide a continuity of the top layer to be eroded. That is what we call it as sheet erosion. You can see this sheet, that is the top layer of the earth, will be continuously eroded because the splash erosion has created the much needed facility of the soil to be loosened, and then with the runoff, the sheet would be eroded. When that such kind of things would continue, the sheet would continue slowly. There would be some deeper, when that splashes would be becoming deeper, there would be some kind of, what you say, that rills will be developed. These are nothing but minor kinds of disturbances on the soil. So small cracks which will be developed like this. You can see this is a small crack. You can see this. This is an outcome of continuous splash and sheet erosion, right? This is rill erosion. When such rills becomes much more bigger, deeper, you will find them as gully erosion. So what is the order? It will start with splash, then the layer of the thing will be eroded, the sleet, the sheet erosion, then that will lead to some kind of tiny cracks called as rill. When the rills becomes deeper, they will be creating some small kind of structures of disturbances, which we call it as gullies. In fact, see, in Hyderabad, we call each street as a gully. If you see the broader topography of that, It's look like one gully. Gully is what? One kind of a division. So here also, under the broader topography, there is a huge, what do you say, something like a depression which has been created by the erosion. That big depressions which are formed out of rills, which are minor cracks, are called as gullies, and these gullies will become bigger, they will turn into ravines, and these ravines, once they turn much more severe, that will turn into what? The bad land topography. Chambal ravines, the Bundelkhand region, how do you think that they have developed? It's a product of significant stream erosion. So whether the streams and the rainfall, they will be eroding in that way that the soil is not fit for agriculture at all right now. That is bad land topography, which is an outcome of severe rill and gully erosion. So when these gullies, you can see here, everything would be eroded, leaving behind lack of any nutrient for any kind of agriculture to be developed. Are you following, all of you? Have you understood this? Have you understood the order now? You don't, now you have understood why this question is important? All of you? All of you? Have you understood this? Okay, right. So that's the thing. If you see splash sheet and all, recently, when if you have this, what do you say, Bundelkhand was in news because of government focus, this topic becomes very, very important. Right. So let me move forward to the next one then. Try to answer this. Okay. Try to answer. Come on. Janvi, Dharma, Gayatri. Okay. Which one of the following conditions is the most relevant thing for the presence of life on the Mars? The opportunity of understanding the presence of life on the Mars. What do you observe? You observe the occurrence of ice caps and the frozen water. Yes, you do study the atmospheric composition of Mars. When you study the atmospheric composition, what will you ultimately try to learn for? Ultimately, you will try to see the ice caps and the frozen water, which is the source. So, keeping these options A and C are much more closer. For that, the most important is automatically the C, occurrence of ice caps and frozen water. Right. So, this is the thing. And let's move to the next question. Yes, Rahul, you are right. Okay. Which of the following phenomena might influence the evolution of organism? How do you think that organisms have evolved? Is it not continental drift? Is it not glacial cycles? Now you all know that continental drift has led to evolutions of organisms in a unique way because it has separated the continents to separated the continent from the big landmass called Pangaea, and the landmass got separately developed and evolved over a period of time. For example, why do you think that a region like Australia, which got separated much more earlier than the remaining ones, and Australia, which is far away from the remaining part of the world, and the uniqueness, see, be it the kangaroo, or else be it the kind of vegetation which you find dominated by eucalyptus. Why do you think that you find such kind of things? You do find such kind of domination. It is because the topography there or the continent there got separated much more earlier than the remaining ones, and it got separated, there it has found this kind of thing. So this is the idea. So present day, Australia got separated from the remaining things. That is the reason why its topography is very, very unique. I am giving you one example. So in other words, continental drift, which led to shift of the continents from one place, which led to divisions of the continents, and the animals which are part of that continent has evolved over a period of time. If that is the case, continental drift is definitely right, which led to the evolution. What about the glacial cycles? You all have studied about or heard about the, what do you say, that Ice Age movie. You have seen that Ice Age, when the glaciers start melting, when there is a climate change, animals started migrating and they started evolving at different places. This is because of glacial cycles. So even that is led to the evolution of organisms. Answer is both 1 and 2. Let me explain another kind of concept about this. For example, if you see the topography of Europe, Europe has big mountains here called as Scandinavian mountains, and even in the south you have so many varieties of mountains. For example, the Switzerland Alps mountains. If you see the top animals which are found in the polar regions like here are also found here. Some of the animals. Why? When the whole continent was under the glaciers, was under the influence of the glaciers, and when the climate change started happening back then, when the ice started melting, you see that animals started migrating, the Ice Age movie. As the animals started migrating, some of the animals have moved to the areas which is comfortable to them, that is started moving northwards. Some of the animals have found the same climate when they increased their altitude because of the mountains. So the mountains here and the polar regions, climate-wise, they are very similar. Here it is because of the altitudinal variation, the temperature is low, and because of which some of the animals which you found in the regions of Europe were the same. So in other words, is it not glacial cycles have led to the evolution of organisms? Yes, migration is one of the need of the organism for it to evolve. Every animal, they always look for what? Adaptation. Adaptation is a trait as well as a process. Adaptation is a trait as well as process. So the animals are adapting through their functions, through their body change, or through it even the behavioral patterns of migration and all. That is the thing. So this is the thing. Let's move forward to the next question then. Now this is a big question. By the time you read the question, you will forget what is the question. Such a huge question. Try to read and answer. I'll give you 1 more minute of time. 1 minute of time. Try to read and answer. Try to read. Take time. Okay. The question is asking about, there are around 6 events which were given, and how many of these events are responsible for bringing dynamic changes on the surface of the earth? So how do you think that they are responsible for bringing dynamic changes? Revolution, say for example, plate movements. Plate movements are responsible for so many dynamic changes, no? So you should know that plate movements, plate tectonics, they are responsible for earthquakes, volcanoes, fold mountains, the mighty Himalayas, the island chains of Indonesia, Philippines, all those things. So 4 will be definitely there. The moment if you say that, B would be eliminated, right? Then rotation of the earth and the revolution of the earth. Is it not rotation and revolution which are responsible for, can I say that, responsible for unequal heating of the earth? If there is unequal heating of the earth, can I say that that is responsible for different weathering process? Weathering, for example, why do you think that the weathering in some regions are much more higher than lesser in some more regions? Is it not because of the climate? Chemical weathering, the physical weathering is a product of climate. The climate is determined by revolution and rotation. Yes, that is there. Gravitational force, yes, gravitational force. Say tides. Tides are because of the gravitational force. Gravitation will try to have its influence in one way, which is bringing dynamic change. So even gravitational force is the right answer. Electromagnetic radiation, that is the source of sun's energy. Definitely that is the prime source. Geothermal energy, the heat which is creating the dynamic changes, the things like hot springs and all. Hot springs, in other words, all are responsible for bringing dynamic changes. The answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you see it, almost 1 is there in every option, 2 is there in every option. You just need to understand about the remaining things. So this is the thing. Almost all of the things are responsible. Are you following? Janvi, Rahul, Dharma, Gayatri, are you following? Right. Okay. Let's move forward to the next question. I think this question, it should be found in climatology, not in geomorphology. There was some mistake. Variations in the lengths of daytime and the night time, which vary from season to season, are because of what? It is because of what is nothing but the conditions, if you say the solstices. Variations in the lengths of day night which vary from season to season, it is because of revolution on a tilted axis. Revolution of earth on a tilted axis. You all know this. As the earth revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit, you see that because of the tilt, North Pole, South Pole would be like this. Now you see here, the North Pole is facing towards the sun, South Pole is away from the sun. It is because of the tilt and the revolution. So the answer would be revolution of the earth on a tilted axis. See, you all know that days and nights are formed because of rotation. Every day the earth is rotating, the earth is rotating, then because of the rotation, one part is facing the sun, other part is away, that is day and night. Then as you move across the elliptical orbit, seasons are formed, but the variations of lengths of day and night, why Norway is called land of midnight sun? Why you do find that the daytime in summer is much higher than the winter time? It is because of the tilt of the axis, not just revolution. The tilt becomes more important than revolution. That is the thing. Right? So this is the right answer. Let's move to the next question then. Try to answer this. Okay, take time, try to answer this. Yes. Zanta Chakma, good afternoon. How was your day? Yes, try to answer this. So consider the following statements made about sedimentary rocks. You are talking about what? Sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. Now you all know what is a sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks are rocks formed at the earth's surface by the hydrological system. Yes, by the water. If you see the water, which is bringing about the varieties of erosional and all, the river bringing the erosion. So sedimentary rocks are rocks associated with hydrological system. Formation of them involves the weathering of pre-existing rocks. Obviously, the pre-existing rocks have been weathered, have been transported. That is what is sedimentary rocks, which definitely when they are weathered and when there is organic content which can be found, you find fossils. That is the reason why coal is a sedimentary rock. And because of these things, they typically occur in layers where each layer talks about different erosional time frame. So all the four statements are right. For example, you know that Shivaliks are the edges of the four mountain ranges of Himalayas. Shivaliks are having variety of conglomerates. Conglomerate, the word in English, is an accumulation of variety of minerals. Is it not? Accumulation. Conglomerate means accumulation. It's a mixture of multiple things, aggregate of multiple things. So, when the river Ganga or else Brahmaputra or whatever the rivers coming from the Himalayas, as they are moving across the greater Himalayas, lesser Himalayas, they are eroding the Himalayas and dumping their things on the Shivaliks, and which got accumulated over a period of time, turned into conglomerate rocks. So, Himalayan rocks of the Shivaliks are conglomerates which has accumulated over a period of time, layer by layer. That is the thing. So, this is one such variety, conglomerate rock. Have you understood this? So, all the four statements are right. Have you understood this? Shall we move forward to the next question? Right. Yes, Nanda Devi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Now, quartz is metamorphized from, so quartzite is a rock which has been metamorphized from which variety of rock? Which variety? It is metamorphized from which variety of rock? From sandstone. From sandstone. Quartzite is a rock which is metamorphized from sandstone. So, you all know metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are rocks found out of, what is it? Igneous rock or else a sedimentary rock. So, sandstone can be converted into quartzite, right? So, that is the thing. So, that is how they are asking. So, sometimes they can ask you about such kind of varieties of rocks. How are they metamorphized? Okay. Let's move forward now. This is a very easy question. This, I expect many of you to get it right. I expect you to get it right. Which one of the following types of coal contains a higher percentage of carbon than the rest? Higher percentage of carbon than the rest. Yes. Higher percentage of carbon than the rest, it is the anthracite. If you see, this is the surface. The more you go deeper, the better quality of coal you find. Nearer to the surface, you will find peat. Just below it, lignite. Then you will find bituminous. Then you will find anthracite. So, it is the last layer where do you find more carbon content, almost more than 90%. Even when you start burning anthracite, you will find the blue flame. That is also one of the indicator. Blue flame, which talks about the purity of carbon content. The blue flame. Yes, this is very easy. I think Zanta Chakma got it right. Aruntapal Sen got it right as well. Good. Let's move to the next question then. This is a unique question. Diamond ring. Don't talk about the diamond ring which you get in a different time frame. That is different. We are not talking about that diamond ring. We are talking about astronomy. Okay. Diamond ring is a phenomena observed when? Anyone? Can you answer? Gayatri, Rahul, Janvi, Zanta, Chakma, Sen. Can you answer? If you see this, diamond ring is a phenomena observed only along the peripheral regions of a totality trail. That is C as the answer. C is the answer. Let me explain. If you see here, this is what we call it as a diamond ring phenomena is observed whenever you find, it's an astronomical phenomena, when you see that when you have a total solar eclipse, when this diamond ring effect is observed at the total solar eclipse, when it is seen as the moon makes its final move over the sun during the total solar eclipse, you will find that as the moon covers the sun during the solar eclipse, the rugged topography of the lunar limb allows certain beads of sunlight to shine through it some places while not in others. So at that point of time, you do find that diamond ring is observed along the peripheral regions of the totality trail. So when the sun and the moon are moving, when you find such kind of a total solar eclipse, the edges of the topography of the moon will showcase the phenomena looking like a diamond ring which you see on the surface of the earth, which you can see from the earth. That is what is called as diamond ring, and this effect is named after Francois Bailey. And this diamond ring effect is seen when only one bead is left, appearing as a shining diamond set in a bright ring. So it is a spectacle of our universe. So this is observed during the solar eclipse at around the edges, peripheral edges of the totality trail. Next, move forward. I think this is done. This is done. This is done. Yes. This is another question. Try to answer this. Try to answer this. If the stars are seen perpendicular to the horizon by an observer, he is located on. Very interesting question, no? If you see a star perpendicular to the horizon by an observer, he is located on equator. He is located on equator. How? Let me explain. If you see the celestial equator is around the line, around the equator. Imagine this is a globe, this is the equator, and the line around the equator is called a celestial equator. Celestial equator is a great circle of the imaginary celestial sphere on the same plane as the equator of the earth. When you see from that, it is always 90 degrees from the pole. All the stars rotate in the path that is parallel to the celestial equator. So when you are finding this, if the stars are seen to rise perpendicular to the horizon by an observer, you will be finding at the equator. So you will be finding at the, if you find this is the north celestial pole, this is the south. If you are at the equator here, see, this is the north celestial pole, this is the south pole, this is the equator. you will find exactly at the perpendicular angle. You can see here one more thing. If this is the horizon, you can see the angle I am drawing you. This is the horizon. Okay, the stars in motion. As you see it, exactly you will find at 90 degrees to you. Right? So, whenever you will find a star are seen to rise perpendicular to the horizon by an observer, they are located at the equator. That is the key thing. Very unique question. The last question. The last question. Volcanic eruptions do not occur in which of the ocean? They do not occur in the Baltic Sea. Black Sea, Caribbean Sea, Caspian Sea, they do occur. Why? It is because if you see this is the Baltic Sea. I think this question was repeated last video also. It was there. This was the Baltic Sea. You see that this is the Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and this is the Caribbean Sea. And if you observe this and superimpose on the plate movements, you do find that Baltic Sea is here, and remaining things, Caspian, Mediterranean, and the Black Sea are located along the plate boundary. So definitely you will find volcanoes. Caspian Sea also you do find volcanoes. Sorry, Caribbean Sea you do find volcanoes because of the variety of plates which are found here. It is the Baltic Sea which is not having any kind of plate movement, which is at the intraplate. There you will find definitely volcanoes. That is about it, right? I hope you have understood this. Vinay, you got it right. No, you said Black Sea. That is wrong. It is Baltic Sea. A very, very unique question, isn't it? A very, very unique question. So do not occur in the Baltic Sea. So you need to have an understanding of what? Where are the plate boundaries? And then you need to have understanding of maps of oceans or the minor seas. If you try to superimpose, then you will get the answer. So that is the uniqueness involved here. I hope you have loved the sessions. Do you want such kind of sessions of previous year questions to be continued? Or do you want anything further? Let me know. And any further doubts, you can ask me as part of the Telegram channel. I am starting a new series of state-wise mapping because many of you have asked that as part of preparation for your prelims exam. So I am doing state-wise mapping. Similarly, anything further if you want, let me know. We will be doing that. That's it for today. Hope you all have understood this. Right? We'll stop it now. Have a good time, all of you. We'll see you again on every day. Almost we're doing a session at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You can connect with me in the textbook platform, Super Coaching UPSC by Textbook. Do subscribe to this channel, share this video, and don't forget to like it and share it to your friends so that they also gain utility out of this video. Right then, all of you. Thank you. Have a good time. Happy learnings. Thank you.